Hey everyone. Um, this is one of three videos um, today, tonight. It's 9:25 p.m. Eastern time right now, so I got two more to bang out after this. But uh, yeah, one of three POI chains, triggers, whatever. This is a request from Ham on Rye Chanaski on YouTube. Three requests contained in the comments, so I'll just read the part that pertains to this. If you ever get a chance, could you show how to hit a box that's POI that increases stats permanently? The next POI appears. I presume sub-objectives are similar. Hardly, sort of, but not quite. Uh, Also, okay, then it gets into some other stuff that I'll cover in a later video tonight. Um, so two things about this that I just want to point out, and they are covered in this demonstration and logic setup and everything. Could you show how to hit a box? I replied to the comment and asked, haven't gotten a response at this point in time, but I didn't know if they meant like physically strike. Also didn't know if they meant like a volume box or an actual box, so I put both. Not that it really matters because you can do whatever you want and the logic still works. However, just needs some minor tweaking. Yeah, didn't know if they meant hit as in strike or hit as in shoot. There are some ways to force melee, but this will work for both. And if you want any different, you'll have to tweak it to your liking. So, anyways, here's a demonstration. Step on that. This would be whatever activator you want on map start, match start, module entered, whatever. POI here, I made it red. Hit this. Okay. I didn't make the box big enough to hit it from ground level, but you can come up. I also had a ding. I didn't realize it was in God mode earlier. I needed to make sure that I was activating it correctly. But that made me get hurt, 50 health. The request was to set modifiers. It's all the same. Use the player proxy. I'll get into that. Moved on to this one. That one's gone. This one's here. This activator won't run anymore. Now this one, we can shoot it. I could also melee it. That healed me 50. And brought up this little thing that I made. It just says check this out. Also messed around with stuff a little bit. Won't draw on screen if you can't see it. Like that. But anyways, you go here and teleport you. So just a few little things. I got a little carried away with, doing some stuff to it. But no dinging, no POI, anything. But we can go activate it. Right. So that's repeatable. Alright. Let me go in and go over it real quick. There's going to be some extra stuff in there that I just, added on, whatever. So I'll try not to get into that too much. I'll mention it just to point out what's unnecessary. That's it. Let's see. That's all necessary. Let me go ahead and just move some of this stuff out of the way. I'm not going to worry about that because it's going to take a while to select. Alright, pretty much all that can stay. Okay, so here's our initializer. Right, on entered. Because box triggers, as far as I know, or as far as I can think of, they are the only trigger that does not accept an activator. No activator gets passed into um, the logic for this. When you shoot it, punch it, whatever, there's no activator because you're not actually using it. Even though there's filters, which I think if you set it to any player and you shoot it as a player, it still allows it to go, but it does not pass an activator. So I had to use cache to object. If you are doing a single player campaign, this is probably a good idea just to do all the time. If you think you'll need it, if you're not sure if you're going to need it, if you're setting up your initialization stuff at the beginning, you can just set player 1 to a cached object, name it player. That way, anytime you need an activator and you're not able to, say if you're using an integer or something and you're using onChanged, or if you're using a boolean, you have an onChanged something and you need an activator in there, you need to manipulate the player somehow without doing some other weird crap. Eventually, you're going to need a cached object to pass an activator, probably player, onto something, particularly or specifically in this situation. Anyways, I'm carrying on too much. On entered, we just set a POI and we have to activate POI settings. Like I said, I made it this color, kind of orangish red. Just says hit this, and that's going to be applied to this. These are all POI 1. All the POIs that I set are POI 1, so I'm not going to go into all of these. I'm also enabling this volume, so you need some sort of activation to start the sequence. Yeah, activate POI settings, set that to your liking. All these other things, which I've been away for so long I didn't even know these were here. I played around with them a little bit. Set POI to, I actually have this. This will let you set a POI to these objects, but there's not really any, there's no outputs on this box, so I'm using a shootable box trigger just to identify when it is struck. Yeah, set POI. Just real briefly, this POI is for the second, this one is for the third. They're all POI 1, like I said. The text is just different, and some of those other secondary settings are tweaked a little bit. But this is POI 1, this is POI 2, and this box trigger is POI 3. Or the third setting. Whatever, you know what I mean. Before I go any farther, on map start, disable volume, because shootable box triggers cannot be disabled on match start. You don't have to show them, but you cannot disable them. So they have to be disabled manually. So I did that, and then enable when I want to use them. So yeah, enable volume and set POI. Alright, simple enough. Damage threshold, you can do it that way. You can do on damaged or on damage threshold met. Reached, rather. I did on damaged. So you just hit it one time after starting the sequence. And what we're going to do is disable this volume. We're going to clear POIs. And we're going to come over here and get this cached object, which was set when this pressure plate was activated. Whoever activated it is the activator, the cached object. Probably should set filter. We can't do custom filter on here. You probably do on damaged, and then just put straight out of here. If I can actually find a thing, you can do cached object filter if you have more than one player, or you think demons are going to fuck with it or something like that. You can do cached object filter before you go to disable volume, clear POI, that sort of thing, to make sure something else doesn't screw it up. Anyways, get. All right, and I just have a sequencer over here. Index 1, which I don't know if in the background they actually start all of their indexes at 1 instead of 0, but this is index 1, which will confuse me, so I have 0 appended to the end of it. This is index 0, this is index 1. So this is the first thing to go, or to sequence. And this is the second. First thing, hurt. Second thing, give health. Alright, 50-50. This is where you would do a thing. You don't have to have a sequencer or something. You can run through here, skip this get, and then do another get over here. And then instead of a sequencer, just on get, set modifier, which was the original request, but it's all right there. Same setup, especially if you're using a shootable trigger. All right, so yeah, we disable that, clear POI there, and then basically just repeat what we did here. Set POI and enable this volume, this blocking box, player blocking volume. It's not called that anymore, but yeah, blocking box. Just stays there. You can hide it if you want. Whatever, you can put a different box. You can have nothing there. Doesn't matter. But just to demonstrate the chain, set POI, enable that, enable this box trigger. And then same thing as before. On damaged, we're going to disable and clear POI, and then we're going to set another POI, which is this box trigger. And then here I just have on enter, disable volume, clear POI, clear cached object, and here on damaged I have this get to trigger the second sequence coming out of the sequencer. Also, by the way, one output per signal. Whatever. Alright. Yeah, on enter, disable, hide some stuff, teleport to up there, play explosion sound. Yeah. And then this on damage, of course, enable all three of these things. There's a blocking box here and down there, because they don't come in rounded shapes. And the box trigger, it's also enabled there. So when you use a box trigger, it disables all three of those boxes, teleports you there, resets this, so this is re-enabled, so you can do it again just for demonstration purposes. That's why I did that. And clears cached object, mostly for my purposes, just because I might need to use that somewhere else or want to use it somewhere else. In here, this is a new tutorial map, by the way. So, yay. Alright, yeah. That's it. Anyone that's got that down, doesn't need any extra clarification, you can leave now. Thanks for watching. For the rest of you that still want to stick around for just a few extra minutes, I'll demo it again, just real briefly, but let me just go over it one real quick time. Our activator, whatever you want it to be, set POI, set active, these settings. We're enabling this box trigger. On damaged, we disable the box trigger, clear the POI, and then if you want additional POIs, then you move on to something else, set POI, enable a volume, destroy an object, whatever you like coming out of that sequence. You could open a door, whatever. Yeah, if you do move on to something else and you want another POI, then the same node that you are coming out of to set a new POI, if needed, you're also going to come out of that same node to set new POI settings. Unless for the entire map you only have 5 different POIs, in which case you can activate all 5 at the same time, and then you can just change this to the respective POI. Yeah, so that's how that works. If you were just going to use one, you would have whatever you want here. This stuff I just covered, come here, on damaged or damage threshold reached. Disable the volume so you can't do it anymore, it just happens one time. Clear the POI so it's not, clunky in the way and looks horrible. And then you would come over, in the case of the request, come straight over to player proxy and set modifier. Or of course, if you had a variable modifier, then you could have, what do you need, a number for modifiers, I think. sits in percentages. Um, you could go and you could change a number, and then because you have a cached object here in this case, you could change a number, and then you could say on changed get, and then on get, you could set modifier for that cached object to a new number. Um, but I'm going on a little bit farther than the scope of this. So there's that. Sorry, this has been a little long-winded. But go in and just one more quick, brief demonstration, and then that'll be it. So go ahead and say thanks for watching. Thanks for requests from a multitude of you guys. Thanks for subscribing if you haven't already. You're more than welcome to. If you don't like this kind of stuff, why are you here? But like if you like, dislike if you didn't, give me a comment, yell at me, whatever. I don't care. I do care if you like my stuff and subscribe and say nice stuff. That's always nice. But anyways, hit this. Ding. I guess you saw the 2D sound back there. Now this one. Ding. Healed up. Right. These POIs are done. Those volumes are disabled. This has not been re-enabled either. And come here. And that's the end of the sequence. Everything's still disabled, but the original activation method is re-enabled, so we can do that. And just do it a bunch of times if we want to. And there we go. I'll end with a cool little thing. Hopefully YouTube sees as a thumbnail. Say, check this out. But yeah, again, thanks for watching. Ending it here. Again, like if you like, dislike if you didn't. I already said that stuff. So, alright. And dooga dooga dooga. Broadcast, there we go. Alright. Bye bye.